Do you think it's okay for teens to experiment with certain things like maybe smoking weed or drinking alcohol or going to the casino?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's important for them to gain the experience of life and stuff like that. But like the second you get to that escapism,
Yeah.
that's where it becomes like a problem.
If you use it as like an escape or like a way to get out, that's not good. But if you do it for fun, doesn't matter.
Interesting. What do you think?
Like, yeah, but then also could like lead to further.
What's your kryptonite? Like, what's your?
Nothing. I don't drink coffee. Nothing like that. I just
Really, eh?
I wake up, I'm good. Yeah.
Coffee. Definitely.
How many a day?
2 or 3.
Oh boy. Would you say you're addicted?
Yeah, I think so.
She is. I'm
Yeah, I am. I need to have my coffee. I do. I need my coffee.
Do you think society tries to push teens to get into those things?
Oh man, this is the new addiction. I've noticed like
Using
kids.
phones.
I feel kids like you guys are nowhere near the way that we used to do things, man.
Do you think you're addicted to your phone?
Yeah, definitely.
I will relate with you. I think I am too. How do you not use these things as escape mechanisms?
By building other healthier habits, like other coping mechanisms, education.
I think education is a main part of it, and then if you deny your teenager,
They'll want to do it more.
they'll do it more because it could be weed, it could be alcohol, it could be betting.
Yeah.
But you just have to be responsible for what you do.
I think, yeah, like for me, like I go to the gym. I love going to the gym. I go like 5-6 days a week. And that's like just a healthy way to build something that isn't, smoking your way out of it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's an escape that actually helps you.
Substances or habits have been around since the dawn of mankind, but how is the new landscape different for Gen Z? Well, the accessibility of these substances and other addictive patterns has definitely increased in recent years. Stats prove that. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think the ease of accessibility for drinking, for smoking weed, for coffee, I keep saying coffee, but all these different, more normalized things that could become addictive, do you think accessibility is the main cause?
I think it definitely has helped. I think it's make it helped. I think it's definitely made it easier to get addicted by having easier access to this thing.
Right.
Case in point is like obviously sugar is a big addiction, and people cope with food in a lot of different ways, and that just wasn't available to us. Even maybe 100 years ago, it was a completely different. Our accessibility to foods, to sugary foods, to foods that were kind of designed to make us addicted. So yeah, if you change someone's environment, you're going to completely change how they behave and what they become addicted to.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but there's no age restriction for a child to go buy a phone. I mean, if you think about it, if the child has enough money to walk into an Apple store, they can go buy a phone, right?
But no. What they need, what children have, are parents, and
Amen.
they're buying them the stuff. So my parents bought me. We're gonna go back in time. The Nintendo 64. There were time limits. We didn't abide by the time limits, but parents are in control of children. And you talked about accessibility to things like cannabis, alcohol. That age has been 19 as long as I can remember. So that hasn't changed. So if there's accessibility, it's either accessibility when your parents go on vacation, you steal their booze, or they don't care that you have a drink with them.
But again, the prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop until the age of 25. So if smoking weed's legal, I can go buy weed. I'm 19 years old. The government legalized that.
Do you read the notices?
Why am I allowed to do that?
Scan the QR code, read the notice, go to the government website. I don't think the average parent even knows what a cerebral
But if we
cortex is.
made it illegal, don't you think it would actually stop some people from going to a store and purchasing weed?
No, I think making it legal actually created a safe place to buy it. There was no black market stuff. You're not going to get weed laced with crystal meth at the government depot, whatever you guys call it, the corner store. So I think that it actually created safer product and a safer place to buy. And I think you can only buy a certain amount. I don't buy marijuana, but like, I think it was a good thing that they did that, personally.
Okay, so we'll keep moving on. What level of responsibility do parents hold in this whole thing?
Well, I think exactly what Anthony said, that parents are responsible for what happens under their roof. That even if you can't be responsible for your kid when they're not in your house, but I definitely think that parents giving their 12-year-old their own phone is definitely something that they should take responsibility for.
Chris, would you say that this generation has experienced harder things than past generations? So maybe anxiety could be a play in this?
It's funny. So in a material sense, obviously we're living in the most like prosperous time ever. It's more so like almost like this psychological trauma that everyone is almost manufacturing. So I think a lot of the problems are caused from these new technologies. So I think the kid that gets the phone at 12 actually has more problems than the kid that doesn't. And now maybe the kid cries and whines that he doesn't have a phone like all his friends, but I think later on, like with hindsight, that's actually the better move, is to like push some of those things off and push them later in life.
Right, right. Okay, give a little bit more control to the parents. Parents
Parents,
can make a little bit more
100%.
decision making. Like you mentioned, you know, keep the time limits on there a little bit. I remember I would play Minecraft every day coming back from school in elementary school. I had time limits. Anyways, when we come back, what's the solution for our generation? I'm curious to talk about this part.